this one. One team already ranked in the top 25, the other sitting just on the cusp and trying to prove a point in this one. Glad to have you with us from Gerald J. Ford Stadium in Dallas, home to the SMU Mustangs. As we'll see a squad from the Mountain West, the South Carolina Gamecocks, taking on the 15th ranked team in the land, the SMU Mustangs. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. And the Mustangs will get us underway with the opening kickoff. No chance to return that one. A booming kickoff out of the back of the end zone. It's a touchback. Intercepted, and the first drive ends with a pick. He was dreaming of getting a few more on that return, but they'll take it in business at the 32.
That is the perfect start for a defense that has really struggled against the pass this season. They're in the bottom portion, okay? Have struggled, but opening drive, making a statement. Maybe this creates some momentum. Maybe this turns the tide for this defense.
Great place to start for this offense. On the option. And those two couldn't make the connection. It's an incomplete pass.
It leads to second down.
Plenty of work to do here on second and long. The give on the option. Not a whole lot of room as he gets a couple inside the 30 to the 29.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Caught in the backfield, it's Maryland. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, SMU. Made the grab and took it on in for the score.
It's so nice as a quarterback when it's not just your receivers that are dangerous after the catch. How about the yak ability by this tight end? He's a guy that can stretch the field. He can make DBs miss, and he's got speed. He is a generational talent. He's really helping out this offense.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. This will not be returnable as it sails out of the back of the end zone. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into a rhythm.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the football off, maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense.
Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. Guys, let's chat just for a second about South Carolina. Losing early in the year can be detrimental, also can be galvanizing. You realize not much margin for error, and they suddenly have put it together and won their last 2.
The dips in the season early really served as motivation for them, and they were able to turn the page. They were able to be resilient. And 18 to 22-year-olds in college football, David, it's easier said than done, but this team really is about that.
Yeah, and they're starting to get it together, and you can see it. Like, I think early in the season, too, Jesse, you're figuring out who you are as a team. I think they kind of got that figured out, and I look for this team to win today and climb up into those rankings.
The SMU offense is headed back onto the field. Already a solid start to this one, now back to work this 7-0 lead. Breaks into the open.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
Brings up second down.
The Mustangs can really attack on this 2nd and short. He'll pull it on the read. And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44.
Well, the defense did a pretty good job that time on the option play of having someone dedicating themselves to the quarterback to get him down. Not enough to stop the offense from picking up the first down, though. The defense really needs to be keyed in on this because they're going to see this option play more and more as this game goes on.
As a defensive guy now, you're always zoomed in on the quarterback. I mean, these guys, whether they're throwing the football or running it, at least they have the football in their hands every time. You know where they're going to be. You focus in. The defense locked and loaded, understand what they were trying to accomplish, doing a good job getting to the quarterback, and then make those physical hits count. Finish those tackles with aggressive hits. Make that quarterback feel you for a whole length of a game.
And the Mustangs have this offense rolling. Quarterback may change this route. Finds his man. It's Harden. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
And guys, how many first downs is that just on this drive alone? I mean, this defense allows 1 or 2 more drives like this, and they're going to be gassed by the 3rd quarter.
The Mustangs come to the line with a new set of downs. Goes to the option. He'll pitch it. He rolls all the way down to the 5-yard line before they finally get him stopped.
Well, this is an offense that has a lot of speed, and they have different guys they would love to get the football to in space, and they can find a lot of different ways to do that. I love the idea of going option here and trusting your quarterback to make the right read. If no one accounts for the pitch, man, he's going to get it to the outside, and you see this.
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Mustangs.
And this running back is so dangerous down close to the end zone. He's got wiggle, he's got great vision and burst, and he showed all of those attributes right there.
And the extra point makes it 14-0. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Boys, expect the unexpected in college football, and for some, this update could fall under that category. NC State found a way to pick up the W, and a win is a win, but this was not the type of convincing victory they've gotten used to in Raleigh. Regardless the outcome today, guys, these are still 2 quality programs. Proof the sport is as healthy as ever.
How about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. Fights off a defender. Guys, for just a little bit, let's talk about South Carolina. Big moment in recruiting last week. 4-star defensive back gives a verbal commitment. David, what's his adjustment going to be like?
Obviously, the adjustment of speed is a big deal, but that's why you go get a 4-star guy like this. I mean, he's got speed. He plays so many DBs at one time. This is a position I feel like you can transition to college really well. The expectations for him are going to be high.
To the air, it's Sellers. Fires to the tight end. And he'll get it up to the 38. It'll be a first down.
Yeah, and obviously great play by the offense to keep the drive alive, and also a good find by the quarterback on 3rd down.
Pulls and throws off the RPO. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. The Gamecocks with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Looking to fire. Get it out on the screen. At the 45 on his way. Big play for this offense as they get it to the 32. Now, Lenora Sellers was sensational down the stretch last season when the Gamecocks won 6 of 7 games. Sellers threw 18 touchdowns, only 3 picks. What would you like to see from him, David, for the Gamecocks to become a force in the SEC?
It's not running, Reese. Like, we saw the physicality in the big runs like throughout the season, especially against Clemson ending the season last year. But to me, it's the passing game. It's the staying on schedule. It's knowing his answers and making the easy play sometimes.
Oh, he's got some space. And he'll have to check his fillings after that lick, but he did get the first down.
Well, Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
I think the offensive coordinators over there going, thank goodness we don't play them every week. This defense has been suffocating. This offense got to find something moving forward that they can hang their hat on, some kind of identity. Today they were shut down, but listen, there's a game next week, right? Like, got to continue to find what it is that makes this team go, that makes them tick, that makes them get first downs and hopefully move the football.
I think for the quarterback, he's going to have to be so good with his eyes in this game. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. You've got to look guys off, especially when you're trying to throw your primary target like he was on that last one.
Wants to fire it in the end zone on 3rd and goal. Trying to barrel in. Touchdown, South Carolina. They punctuate the chance with a trip to the end zone. And the offense finds a way to cut into this lead, but they still have plenty of work to do.
Yeah, they do, but that's a big score. You don't want to get late and start getting in the second half where you're fighting to come back by so many points. So great job getting points, get that momentum back on your side so you can come out and do some good things when you get the ball next time.
And it'll come out to the 25, no attempt at a return. Put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Looking for a man. It's Jennings. That's caught. It's Brenson. And with that stop, we are headed toward the end of the first quarter. That's the end of the period, and SMU has the lead. And we've come to the end of one, and let's take a quick moment to catch up on the stats. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. And the Mustangs come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. Out of the gun, the running back has it. They'll get him at the 45, but he got 10 on that one.
Man, that was a good run, but it was almost even better. Great job by the offense. Keep the running game going. You get big chunks like this. Not only was that a big chunk, it also looked like it could have gone for more.
They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Well, that guy is so quick coming out of his stance. Did you see how fast he got to the ball carrier to get that tackle for loss? Wow.
Rides to back on the option to give. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Snagged in the middle. It's Maryland. Now they're really starting to threaten as they pick up the first down at the 34-yard line. The Mustangs moving quickly to the line. Might be changing the route. Looking downfield on first down. He rifles one deep down the middle. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal.
Well, this offense has shown you it doesn't take a lot of time for them to generate explosive plays through the air. Big completion on the previous play. They take another shot and hit it, and they have completely flipped the field.
And the Mustangs will try to put one on the board on first and goal. They'll run the option. They'll try the run. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, SMU.
How about the versatility by this tight end and the creativity by the play caller incorporating the tight end on an option play? We've seen this position morph in the years past. Brock Bowers was a guy from Georgia that could do so many different things. And now this big fella getting involved here with the option pitch, taking it in for a touchdown.
They're set to kick it off. And you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field?
Set to kick this one away.
And there will be no return on this one as the ball bounds into the end zone. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back.
Loose in the middle. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. He did a nice job of it.
Makes the grab. It's Brown. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
QB, excellent location on that throw. Out route against man coverage, you cannot miss. If you throw that behind, that might be a pick six. So nice job by the...
Turning it on. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Gamecocks.
You know, this guy's had a big role in this offense this year, especially when they get down close to the end zone. That's his 5th rushing touchdown on the year. He's been a factor for these guys offensively.
And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they capped it off with a thrilling 50-yard run for the touchdown. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. RPO complete to open the drive. After the pickup of 9, it's 2nd and 1. The Mustangs want to pick up the tempo.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on first down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
And the Mustangs come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Such a big part to convert these 3rd downs, and they got it at the 42.
Nice job by this offense converting the 3rd down. Listen, 3rd and short, they know you're going to run the football, and they still did a great job being physical. 3rd downs has been such a struggle for this offense. Bottom 50, one of the worst in college football. Nice job on that play.
I don't think the quarterback made the right read on that play. I know they're asking a lot of this QB. He's got a lot to focus on with the pass game and all the different types of runs that they have in their playbook. But on that play there, that pre-snap look told me to hand it off.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Quickly complete. And there might have been trouble if they hadn't gotten to him immediately. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Mustangs come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. Quick release by the QB. There he goes. Really good surge for this offense. They move the chains, and he's got it at the 34.
This offense is clicking, everything working together really well. Coordinator, quarterback, offensive line. Good rhythm, good flow. Defense is going to have to find something to kind of mess up this timing they got going on.
He's moving out of the pocket. Trying to make magic on the scramble. Puts him in the spin cycle. Nice job by this junior quarterback to get it done on the ground.
Man, that's so frustrating. It happens so fast. He just pulls it down. It looks like pass. He pulls it down, and he's gone. Just like that, chewing up yards. So much speed, so hard to stop.
All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
Well, it's a really nice job of the offense mixing it up on this drive. We've seen some nice plays throwing it, and how about that one running it too? Great push up front.
This offense has been running up and down the field, and here they are, 1st and goal, a chance to tack on another one before halftime. Looking for the goal line. Touchdown, Mustangs! And they take it in for 6 more points.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
South Carolina, 14.
He wisely lets that one bounce through the back of the end zone, and they'll take over at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Dropping back, it's Sellers. Fires to the wideout. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. He was thinking big return, didn't get that, but boy, did he give his offense an opportunity at the 31. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. Might be calling a hot route. Use the play fake, now to throw. The short hand, it's Hudson. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there.
And offenses nowadays, they're really just counting numbers. How many guys do you have out wide? How many guys do I have out wide? If I have enough guys to block your guys, boom, it's just built into the offense. Pitch, catch, let me get a few yards.
The short hands, it's Hudson. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. 3rd and long coming from the 27-yard line. You can make a field goal from here, just don't take a negative play. A designed run for the quarterback. He's inside the... Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, SMU! They are seizing control and taking away hope as they push out the lead in this Week 8 showdown.
This is like having an extra running back in your backfield. This quarterback is magic. When he decides to keep the football, he can make people look absolutely silly. He shows you on that play.
So they got the touchdown now, going to put it in the hands of their defense to finish off this half. And the ball will make it into the end zone. No return on that one for a touchback. They'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the first half. To the air, it's Sellers. And he will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. They'll immediately call timeout.
And I love playing man coverage on the back end, getting in those receivers' faces. Don't let them feel comfortable and run zone where they can find all these holes in the zone, and my rush can't get home. Pressure them, pressure them, pressure them.
And the Gamecocks have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Time to take a shot. And it's incomplete, going for the massive explosive play instead. They're looking at a 3rd down.
Well, this quarterback has really found a nice rhythm early, and he's in firm control and command of everything that's happening. They've had 2 drives, they've scored 2 touchdowns, and here on their 3rd possession, he still wants...
He'll loft one deep down the left side. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains, they were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. The Gamecocks send out the punt unit. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. He'll settle for some pretty good field position and make the fair catch at around the 35. Offense has enough time to get off a play before we head to the half. He might want another play. The sweet feet buy a little time. Going right and going deep. And he makes the grab and gets the foot down. What a job for a huge gain there.
And that is such an accurate throw. It's one thing to do it from the pocket when you have your feet set underneath you, but when you can get outside, off schedule, on the move, and throw a dart like that, that is just big time, and the offense gets a huge explosive play.
That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. And the Gamecocks will kick it away first, and we'll start the 2nd half. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. The Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. Let's see if they can keep that first half momentum rolling. Trying to set the tone on the ground in the 3rd. He These little gains can start to add up as he gets it up to the 34.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
Wide receiver going in motion. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
How about the job and recognition by the defense? They knew exactly what they were trying to set up, and they had multiple defenders surrounding that intended target so that there was nowhere for him to go once he caught the ball.
Back to throw, it's Jennings. Steps away to find some room. Fires to the right. A strike downfield. And they just want to give this guy a chance to make a play on third down, and more times than not, he is going to deliver.
He's so good, so efficient, such a good route runner, got the speed, got the complete game, so you definitely want to highlight him, and especially on those downs that matter the most. If something's not open quick underneath, find him, he'll make those contested catches.
I know that one hit the ground, but you haven't seen that a lot. He completed over 70% of his throws in their last game. He's over 80% in this game. My old offensive coordinator, Sean Payton, used to say, bore me with completions. This guy will put you to sleep.
Quarterback gets the first down and more. Breaks into the open. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Mustangs!
And you see the option being such a pain in the behind of the best programs in college football. When you've got quarterbacks that have those multiple options, they're making you play very disciplined, and the QB takes it himself, gets in for the score.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Man, we've been anticipating this top 15 matchup all week. Let's show you how things are playing out. Notre Dame is currently ahead in this one, but it's been a close one so far in South Bend. They're up by just 2 over USC. We'll circle back if anything big happens in this college football matchup.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. And he throws another interception, his third of the night. Touchdown, SMU! The defense putting points on the board.
And they come up with a huge pick six, and that is one of the reasons this defense has been so dominant all season long. They don't give up big plays, but they take the football away. And once they do, they've got better athletes than you do. They're hard to bring down. They can flip the game on a dime.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? They do happen. So you've got to be able to turn the page here and lead this offense.
Well, I think you know this defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to jump routes. They're going to play aggressive. You got to take advantage of that. Maybe use that this time to your advantage.
And that one looked great on the grease board, but when they blow it up like that, the defense is going to win every time. Now facing a third and long. Under fire. But it's incomplete, and this sophomore quarterback usually makes that throw every time.
This really has been a Jekyll and Hyde story for this quarterback. His last game out, he completed over 80% of his throws, but things just not going his way in this one. You've got to give the defense a ton of credit.
Can you believe this? The offense is going for it on fourth down. Now the play fake. Down he goes, and the defense snuffs out this drive with a sack.
That's a gutsy call. And I know the analytics world says to go for it more often, but when you're in your own territory and now you turn the football over to the other team, points are so much easier to get. Obviously, I know, Jesse, it didn't take a color commentator to figure that out.
The SMU offense is headed back onto the field. He's got it on the move. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Mustangs.
Big Big-time players make big plays in big games, man. It seems like each and every week when this guy has an opportunity in the end zone, he's coming up with the big one. That time, great job focusing and concentration. Defense not able to cover him. That's his now 10th receiving touchdown on the year.
And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. That's exactly what you want to do when you have that type of field position. Strike quickly, and they did. One play, and they put it on the board. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Let's see what this offense has dialed up this time. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. Still on his feet at the 45. Wide open on the right. Slippery slide. Find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Gamecocks. When that receiver got free, it was all over.
And it's so nice to have a receiver like this as a quarterback because you pad my stats. I like those long touchdown passes where I just threw it really short and he did the rest of the work.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. They'll go back to work with a sizable margin still up there on the scoreboard. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
Quick touch pass to the receiver. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, and David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate.
Makes the catch down the right side. Oh, he's got some space. And I wasn't sure they were going to be able to catch him. They finally did, but they gave up a huge play. And the Mustangs will snap it on 1st and 10. Offense changing the play. From the red zone, he's going to throw it. And he really wanted to get the touchdown there, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes as a quarterback, when you're feeling the rhythm and you're feeling yourself, you just want to keep taking shots, right? This guy's already thrown 3 touchdown passes. He saw a look he liked, decided to let her fly. Haven't seen a lot of balls falling complete, especially deep down the field. That one did, but I'd expect this guy to keep letting it go.
Getting work done on the ground. He's pulled down at the 14-yard line. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Mustangs are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. To the air, it's Jennings. Now adjusting. Got enough space. Touchdown, SMU. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
And he's in for his 3rd rushing touchdown. You college fantasy football players, that is what you want to see. +6, +6, +6. Let's go.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. So that was a 6-play, 75-yard drive. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. And as the ball makes its way into the end zone, it'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Starts a drive, trying to go up top. Back open in the middle. He breaks the tackle. Out to the 36-yard line after gaining 10 on that one.
He's tackled.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball.
Turning it on. Plenty of room on that play, and they find their way to the 36.
I know the offense is down by a lot here in the second half. You just need one big play, though, to spark the offense, get the confidence going, and they may have found it right there in that completion. Good throw, good catch. Now we got to keep it going.
Stumbled to the ground.
And that's kind of a lot of today's running game, right? Spit the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers in space, get positive yards. It's instead of running the ball a couple yards up the middle, now you just spit it out wide, and a lot of times if you break a few tackles, it could be even bigger.
And they knocked him down, but he got past the line to gain.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
They're facing a third down. Looking to throw, it's Sellers. He's taking the shot. And it's his fourth interception of the game. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
Well, coming out of the tunnel in the third quarter, this quarterback now is really struggling with his decision-making. 2 picks here in the third quarter. This looks like Jekyll and Hyde from what we saw in the first half.
Well, and the bad thing is they're going to be in passing situations. They're coming from behind. They're going to need him to play better. Like, he's going to have to read the field better and make some plays if they want to get back in this football game.
That's the end of the period, and SMU has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the fourth. They had a chance to mull things over, and let's see how they start the final period here on second down. Buys a little time with his feet. Finds a man on the left. How about that effort to get it out across the 20? They'll mark it at the 21. It's a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to go up top on first down. Trying to burn this defensive back. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
I'm a little bit surprised they're still throwing the football here this late in the game with this kind of lead. They're on first down, taking a shot, falls incomplete, but obviously they're still seeing matchups that they want to take advantage of in the back end of this defense.
Throw to the sideline, and it's complete, and they've got a big play.
Well, this offense has just been dialing up explosive play after explosive play. That's a big part of why they have a huge lead at this point. Even in the fourth quarter with that lead, they are still taking shots. They are still being aggressive, pedal to the metal.
Wants to throw on first down. Looking for a huge play. He's got it inside the 25. Slicing and dicing through this defense, and they've got it down to the 23.
I don't know if they're trying to get this guy Heisman consideration, but the fact that they're still throwing the ball at this point of the game with a lead like they have is surprising, I gotta be honest.
Getting work done on the ground. He's pulled down at the 14-yard line. Operating in the red zone here on second down.
Let's go.
Quarterback running on the drop. And into the end zone. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their total.
And this always is the debate of where you fall. It's your job to stop me, or I should get conserved, because this offense obviously has had themselves a day, and apparently their day's not over. They're going to continue to keep scoring, and the defense better do something about it.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, it is now a final in the Big Ten, and a game I think a lot of folks will want to see. Washington notched a victory in enemy territory, and though it wasn't a dominant win, I'd argue any win away from Husky Stadium is worth its weight in gold. We'll see a lot of games this week, but few will have as much of an impact on the Big Ten standings as this one does, gentlemen.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Lets it fly. Incomplete, thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
Well, this has been a day to forget if you're this quarterback. And I got to be honest, guys, I'm surprised he's still even in the game right now because he's had zero rhythm. He hasn't been accurate. He's thrown a ton of interceptions. Most coaches would have pulled their guy by now. I know the guy I played for back in college, he would have pulled me about 2 interceptions ago.
The Gamecocks are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. On 3rd and short, trying to impose their will and move the chains. This time he doesn't get loose, and finally the defense gets him bottled up behind the line. Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. That will take us to the 2-minute timeout, and not much time left for this offense to put together a miracle. Down in the 4th quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Big tight end makes the grab. 1st down, still on his feet. Man, this sophomore quarterback unleashed a cannon on that one. And the Gamecocks have it with a 1st and 10. Looking for a man, it's Sellers. Got a man, it's Bennett. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Short completion last play. Let's see if they throw it again. Wants to go up top. Right down the middle. He's got an open man. And they got the defense on that one, and they get it to the 29-yard line. His offense lines up feeling awfully good after that big play. Motion from the wide receiver. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Caught behind the line. It's Harbor. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Great play by the cornerback. And this offense, they're just trying to get this receiver the ball quickly to see if he can make something happen. But that cornerback was draped all over him. Nice job.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. He is going nowhere, and this defense is manhandling this running game on the last couple of snaps. It'll be 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. He's going to run it. They stop him well short of the marker. It's 4th down from the 27. And they decide to trot out the kicker. The offense will have to use its first time out of the half. And he'll need to curl this one in from 44 yards out on the right hash. So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Big tight end makes the grab. It's a 1st down. Gets it inside the 10, out of bounds at the 9 after the big pickup on that one. The Gamecocks, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive together. Fires into the end zone. And it's caught for a touchdown. They're going to play this one through to the end, but this is pretty much window dressing.
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. To throw, it's Jennings. Pressure coming. He gambles and throws one all the way back to the left. And that deep shot's going to wind up incomplete, but we do have a flag on the field. Let's see what the official says. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. The defense still has a couple of timeouts at its disposal, but down a couple of possessions, the offense will take a knee. With the win today, they're now bowl eligible, and that's certainly worth celebrating, at least to some degree, wouldn't you say, guys?
Yeah, listen, at the start of the year, there are a lot of goals that get put up on the blackboard. Reaching a bowl game is one of them, so now you can go ahead and check that off. But if you're this football team, you're not celebrating that tonight. You're looking to build on this win moving ahead because they've got bigger goals down the road, Dave.
They do, and they've shown you some good flashes throughout the season, man. Some moments that really say this team could be really, really good. And so I think you continue to improve. You know at the end of the season, I get to take a vacation. Wherever the bowl game is, we get a free trip with my boys, but there's some work to be done still.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese David.